Hello, this is Yeshuasaidmyname with yet another video exposing the deeds of darkness according to Ephesians 5:11. In this video, I will be discussing yet another couple of emails that I have received lately, thanks to the Lord, from people who have been targeted individuals, those who have experienced stalking, those who have had relatives that have been involved in Freemasonry or have come out and have testimonies to share. Before I get started on these two topics that I will be discussing in this video, one of which will be a testimony regarding Freemasonry, another I'll be discussing more targeted individual information and stalking information that there are certain people that go through. And I put these topics out so that people that subscribe to the channel or maybe looking up these topics have a place to go where people can pray with them. People can discuss things with them. Maybe emails can be exchanged, and a person that's either coming out of Freemasonry or has questions, or a person who's been targeted, has a Christian family here, especially on this channel, of believers that they can reach out to for love and support and prayer. And we are here for you. Before I delve into these topics, I want to let people know that everyone is welcome on this channel. Everyone. I don't care if you're an atheist, if you're a Luciferian, if you are a New Age occult practicer, a pagan, if you're a secularist, a humanist, Catholic, Protestant, whatever you may be. All that I ask is when you come on this channel, if you have something to share, that you do so with respect. Any comments either directed on this channel at myself or others on this channel, subscribers, that is verbally abusive, inciting violence, that uses profanity and vulgar language or vulgar speech, you will be ignored the first time. And then if it continues, your comments will be banned from the channel. So I'm asking that anyone who would like to join in the discussion, if you disagree, which you are free to do. I never tell people when they come on this channel, you have to agree with everything I'm saying. I'm stating, if you disagree with anything I'm stating or anyone else is stating on this channel, that you agree to disagree with respect. You will not have an intelligent conversation or discussion with someone being verbally abusive or using profanity. So I wanted to mention that. I had debated whether or not to disable comments on this channel. I've even had emails coming to me in private that have been threatening, emails that have been verbally abusive, and emails using profanity. And if I have to, I will ban people from emailing, or I will ban you from commenting on the channel. And I'm sorry to have to come out and make this kind of a statement. However, all are welcome. All are welcome on this channel. I don't care what your background is. I'm glad you're here because you'll hear the gospel of Jesus Christ and meet others that can help you have a personal relationship with Jesus, who loves you and gave his life for you. I'm asking, if you disagree, that you disagree with respect. You will not win over your listener being verbally abusive or using profanity on this channel. So let the warning be known. Let me first of all start off with a sister in Christ who is a subscriber on this channel. I received an email from her on Wednesday of this week, the 26th, and it's regarding an instance that she had with a Freemason in her church. And she was very concerned about this gentleman because he had been diagnosed with cancer, and the church was praying over this man, and this is what ensued. Hello, my name is Laura. I am so blessed by what you are doing on your channel. I kind of wanted to tell you a little about what is going on. About a year ago, we had a gentleman at our church come up to be prayed for as he had cancer. As we were praying, the Lord spoke to me and told me to tell him to come out of it, meaning come out of Freemasonry. I did not really know what the Lord was talking to me about, but when we got done praying, I walked over to this man and I told him that the Lord had told me to tell him to come out of it, that it was not of him. He looked at me confused and asked me, come out of what? And asked me, and as I was telling him to come out, I'd have no idea that the Lord downloaded to me the word Masons, that he put Masons in her spirit. So I stopped mid-sentence and asked him, by chance, are you a Mason? He started smiling and proudly said, yes. I told him that all the work that all the work that he had done, the Lord told him to come out of it. You would have thought I was a horrible person, the way he looked at me, that that I was a terrible person in the world, and he began to frown at me and looked at me disgust and walked off. My heart was broken for him. That's when I began to study Freemasonry. And while I was studying it, a coworker came up to me one morning and asked to speak to me in private. We went into her room and she began to cry and state, "I am scared. I am very, very scared." When I asked her why, she said, "I don't know what they'll do to me. If they know, I know what I saw." I asked her what she was talking about. She then went on to say that her aunt was hired to clean in a Masonic lodge, but had fallen and broken her leg and was not able to do so. And they asked her to fill in and clean until her aunt was able to go back to work. She said she had cleaned it 2 or 3 times, nothing out of the normal. She said it kind of looked like a church inside with chairs and a pulpit or a platform where someone would speak. She noticed that one door was always locked and she figured it was a closet and didn't think much of it. But one day she went to clean and the door had been left open by accident. There were stairs going down. Curiosity got to her and she went through the door and went down the steps. It led to a hall. She said the hall had lockers, like at a school. Each locker had a black robe, and at the end of the hall, she noticed a room. She described what looked like a clawfoot bathtub with a drain in the middle of the room. She noted around the drain was a dark, dried, rusty color. We are both nurses, so she was convinced it was dried blood. About 10 feet away, she said there was a strong wooden chair with wide leather straps at wrists and ankles. She said, just like you see in the movies, and so on. There were candles and red drapes. At that point, she got so scared she ran out of the room and out of the building and called them and said she would no longer clean. She had no idea that I was looking into these things myself. So I know that this was of the Lord to confirm things. The more I studied, the more I have seen and found out. And then I found your channel that is confirming all of this. I am a traveling nurse now at a different job, and it breaks my heart when I go from town to town. And it is like I go into a town and there's a proud display of a Masonic lodge on a pole, like it is telling everybody that these towns are controlled by Freemasonic lodges. I have gone to my pastor twice to ask him why he is not speaking about secret societies or exposing Masonic lodges, and he will not really give me an answer. And he will not speak out against it. It is very sad. How many churches are being controlled by Satan? I pray blessings over you and that the Lord will bless you and continue to expose the deeds of darkness. Your sister in Yeshua, Laura. And this was sent from her iPhone on Wednesday. Now, of course, because I was not there personally, I cannot validate or confirm this story. All I'm doing is reading to you. This is just a sampling of some of the testimonies that I receive. And I believe that as these continue to pour into my email inbox, as they continue to pour into my PO box, that the Lord is confirming for me and laying at my feet further confirmation of what he has started in me a few years ago in revealing Freemasonry. As I've stated previously on this channel, I have had books from lodges that former members of Freemasonry have given me. As a matter of fact, a lady from my former church had a grandfather that was a Master Mason. She managed to get a hold of books from the lodge, and I have those in my possession. I've done videos on those a couple of times before. I've had letters from ex-Freemasons. I'm going to do another video soon, hopefully, on a letter that I have on my computer that an ex-Freemason sent me and how the Lord drew him out, and he gave a testimony to fellow lodge members. So some may come on this channel and think they can intimidate me from coming forward and speaking of these things. That's not going to work. I have way too many corroborating facts with former Freemasons, with Freemasons I know personally. I have books from lodges. I have too much inside information, and some of which I won't even discuss, that this is Luciferian. It is not of the Lord. As a matter of fact, there are high-ranking Freemasons like Albert Pike and Manly P. Hall and others who praise Lucifer. There are interviews with Masons online, on YouTube, that explicitly say that Lucifer is the light bearer and that he is out to help people, and they are high-ranking Masons. Now, do lower-ranking Masons understand what they're getting involved in? Possibly not. There may be many innocent men and women out there that are involved either in Freemasonry or the Eastern Star, and as they're entering in, they may have no concept of what is going on. So I'm saying this with respect, but out of concern. This is not an innocent big boys club. And I've had some gentlemen and even women email me saying, because I came across these videos on your channel, I have decided not to join Freemasonry. Now, I have one more statement to read to you, and I'm going to be only reading certain comments from this email that I received from a gentleman about stalking. As a matter of fact, if you remember me bringing up Kenneth to you a few days ago, he was giving a testimony about stalking and being a targeted individual. Kenneth wrote me again a few days ago, and he stated this. Now, I'm going to read portions of it to you. Some of it I feel is personal, related to him, and I do not want to put him in harm's way. He goes on to say here, around 2012, I noticed unusual vehicles parked near my home, surveilling the property. I noticed some unusual tailing by vehicles while going about my day from the gym, grocery shopping, and the like. I have been vocal about my views on the Federal Reserve, the central banking system, 9/11, and the overall deliberate sabotage of our nation. Now, just to pause there for a moment. The order ab chao, or order out of chaos, is purposely manufactured in order to bring about their New World Order. They want to be the ones to bring chaos so they can then bring about what they call their order, or their New World Order. And the only way to do that is to cause the chaos so they can swoop in and be the heroes and create what they consider order. More recently, while working my union job, and I'm not going to say where that was, let me see here. Let me continue here because some of this is personal. Harassment continued occasionally from members of my crew where I worked until January 8th, 2019, when my gut told me something was seriously wrong. I expected that to be the end of it. However, the contract stalking continued and escalated within my personal life. I searched far and wide for answers, located targeted justice and surveillance survivors. What I learned infuriated and disgusted me. And he goes on to name certain groups that are partaking in these surveillance programs. From what I'm told, you will be targeted and qualify for targeting if you are a Christian activist, a Christian truther, an alt left or right politically, a 9/11 whistleblower, chemtrails advocate, and anyone else string pulling satanic cabal seems a threat to the one world treachery. It says here. All right. And he goes on to say here, I've spoken with several targeted individuals in various parts of the country, and each has a custom tailored program that is designed ultimately to bring about nervous breakdown, psychological and emotional trauma, and then in some cases, suicide. So it's very, and then he goes on here to end his email, and I'm skipping through some of it because some of it is extremely personal. I must emphasize that much like Satan himself, this contract stalking program is an equal opportunity destroyer. It is not specific to race, gender, social position, etc. Now, when he made that statement here, it reminded me of the Jesuit oath. In the Jesuit oath, they state that they will have no discrimination with position, rank, gender, none of these things will stop them. As a matter of fact, I'll do an updated video soon, Lord willing, on the Jesuit oath. I had Marita ask me the other day, Marita Hartman asked me if I would do an updated video on the Jesuits and the Jesuit oath and exactly what they are. The Jesuit oath states, and you can look this up yourself, and it's even in the Library of Congress, the Jesuit oath, that they discriminate, that they do not discriminate, that they are not held back by your position, your rank, your gender, nothing, to carry out their plan in obedience to the papal dynasty. So he says here, I must emphasize that they're an equal opportunity destroyer. It is not specific to race, gender, or social position. And that's exactly what even the Jesuit oath states. And remember, I'm telling you, the Jesuits and all these other secret societies work hand in hand to bring about this global agenda. He states here, I hope this helps to explain gang stalking, or more accurately, contract gang stalking and harassment. And I believe its development included the efforts of PSYOP specialist and open Satanist Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino. Thank you, Angela Kenneth. So I skipped through some of his message to me here. because some of it I felt was extremely personal, and I do not wish to put our brother at any unnecessary risk whatsoever. Uh, Again, you are free to join this channel and disagree. You are free to comment how you feel. I never mind that. I don't mind a challenge, and I certainly don't mind someone disagreeing with me. I'm not a controlling, micromanaging person on this channel saying, unless you agree with me, you can't subscribe or I'll block you. I'm asking who you are, whatever your background is, that if you want an intelligent conversation from me or others on this channel, that you do so with verbal respect, not verbal abuse. Scripture tells us that life and death is in the power of the tongue, and those who eat of it will be filled. That your mouth can orchestrate the whole direction of your life, Proverbs says. And Scripture says, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, O Lord. Feel free to disagree. I'm asking on this channel that if you do so, no matter what your background is, if you want an intelligent conversation from me and others on this channel, that you do so with respect. You will present your case in a much more intelligent manner and have intelligent responses, behaving with responsibility verbally. Verbal abuse and profanity will get your statements blocked on this channel. And I'm sorry I even had to make that statement, but it's coming to that point. God bless you. Thank you for listening. Hopefully soon I will be doing an update on the Jesuit order. Marita Hartman asked for that, so I'll gladly do that for you, sister. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you to those of you who have been praying for my recovery from the pneumonia. I had a follow-up doctor visit a couple of days ago, and I'm not quite there yet. I'm still trying to rest up and take fluids, and I have some more blood work coming up soon. So, however, the Lord's giving me strength to do what I have to do every day. So thank you so much for your prayers, and I will be checking back in soon, Lord willing. God bless you all today.